Hello everybody and welcome to another Irish Whiskey Review with me, Marty Macaulay. I hope I find you in good form, good heart, and everybody's well. The pandemic's still dragging on, but today's vaccine day. Yeah. So, fingers crossed, get it rolled out, save people's lives, get life back to normal. Hopefully. It's amazing how well everything has happened. It's all seems to be going in the right direction at long last. So, yes. Now, another little thing. This whiskey review will be a bit of time, but we've started in the run up to Christmas. We're doing a Christmas Advent on Instagram Reels, and we are doing Sláinte Claus, which is Instagram Reels are little 15 second clips, because people's attention spans are just nobody looks at anything for more than 15 seconds now, so you have to fit it all in. So, hang on, not a bit of dust in my eye. We are doing 15-second whiskey reviews, folks. Very condensed. And Sláinte Claus gets the filters on. Santa hat, beard, etc. And I do a whiskey review of a Northern Ireland whiskey. Now, the reason for this is it's in conjunction with Discover NI, who are wanting to promote food and drink across Northern Ireland. So it's the distilleries and the whiskey bonders and that people who release whiskey in that area, that's who we will be doing. So it'll be the different distilleries and their different bottlings, etc. So it's not just Bushmills, okay? Not just Bushmills. So all the whiskey may not even come from Northern Ireland. It could come from all over the island, but it'll be bottled or blended, or the company that release it will be in Northern Ireland. So tonight, now we've done the two older brothers, older siblings of this bottling. This one we are going to do is Grainne Ní Mháille, the blend. Now, this doesn't come with the little sort of sexy lace-up bodice thing, which I kind of miss. It's a nice addition. It makes the bottle stand out. It's quite nice. The little leather bodice that was on the rum and the deep char expressions of this. Now, what is this? It's a blend. It's claimed that it's got 46% malt content, which is quite high for a blend. Not the highest by any means, but it's hefty at 46%. Now, there's a usual bump in the back about Grainne Ní Mháille, the Pirate Queen, and all that, but you can see that in some of the other reviews. This is a special blend of triple and double distilled single malts and grain whiskies. Varying age statements deliver the perfect balance of fruitiness, age character, complexity and smoothness. Each batch of whiskey is aged perfectly in different barrel types: American bourbon, rum barrels and French oak. And Grainne Ní Mháille Irish whiskey is cut with rock filtered water from County Mayo in west of Ireland. Now, it's 40%, although if you do a little bit of searching, a little bit of googly doogling and going around the internet, it's listed on the website as being 43%, and on a couple of the shops at 46%, which seems a little bit disingenuous, a little bit confusing, because if you're going to buy it from the shop and it says it's 46% and it arrives and it's 40, you'll be a little bit miffed, because 46% usually indicates that it's non-chill filtered, but it states quite clearly on it that it is. On the website it says it's 43, which is a little bit more confusing, because it's not. Now, right away when I take the cork out of this, I'm getting an aroma. It's actually, when I'm opening that up there, it's got quite a sort of beer nose to it, just coming out of it, you know. Now, it'll have colouring in it. We know that. I got a little bit of white paper here to show colour. I really should prepare more for these kind of things, you know. So colour wise, yeah, well, it's very light, so they haven't been very heavy on the old colouring. Now, in the other two, the rum cask and the deep char, I wasn't massively impressed by them, but this is not a distillery. This liquid comes from the Great Northern Distillery, John Teeling's place. Now, it has, as I've said before, Paul Carus, this alcohol academic, if you like, overseeing this. Now, I rather suspect that the minute he's not had enough time to get his ducks in a row for exactly what he would want. He's probably working with stuff that he probably could improve on, and the whole range at the minute feels a little rushed, as if, you know, we've set the company up, get it out, get the bottlings out, let them go, and it just has that kind of feel to it. I think, I've said before, this brand could have good thing. It's got lots of good things going for it, but I think it just needs to settle down a little bit and establish itself as a brand, give itself a little bit more of a character. And I'm not talking about the Grainne Ní Mháille character. They've already set that down. I'm not totally convinced that that's maybe the best way of doing it, but there is this Irish hero type branding which people seem to be buying into. It is a little bit of the plastic paddy for me, if I'm honest. So, without further ado, we'll give it a little nose. Now, on the nose, you're getting the bourbon cask. It's coming through. It's a mix of range of whiskies from 3 to 10 years old. That's what it states. And it is relatively young. You can get that, and even though it's quite high in the malt content, it's quite young, and it's given it a sort of a bit too green of a note. It's kind of zesty, but it's a little bit green, and what I mean by that is it's kind of a little harsh on the nose. The vanilla's coming through there, but there's a bit too much of the oak, and the oak is a little bit too harsh on it. It's just not giving you as nice a rounded note as you would like. The zest's there. Whenever I opened up, the beer was that sort of almost hoppy, malty thing was coming out, but it's not really coming here now. Maybe if I left it a little while, it would come out a little bit better, but it nose wise, it's not fantastic. Now, in the mouth, it's a little bit better than it is in the nose. It's a little bit more rounded and giving you a more honeyed. Mouthfeel's actually quite good. Now this is about €35 a bottle, £35 or thereabouts a bottle, so it's reasonably well priced. and being at that level, it's a little bit better quality than some of the cheaper bottlings, the entry level models. But you do pay that little bit more, and hopefully get a little bit more quality. So value for money, I would give it half a mark, because I wouldn't necessarily be convinced that it's much better than some of its direct competition. But by the same token, the price that some people are paying for new Irish whiskies is, quite frankly, heading towards being ridiculous. And it's not. This is not ridiculously priced. So, on the tongue, it's quite honey, nice little bit of note of nut there. It's quite fruity, and a nice kind of full bodied fruit. So like a nice orchard apple, giving you. It's not tropical. It's not tropical. It's a bit more rounded. Not your berries. So you're talking kind of your richer pears. Not your acidic apples. Your almost like a baked apple. That kind of direction. It's fruity, but not fresh fruit. But by the same token, it's not your pitted fruit or dried fruit. It's somewhere in between. It's that kind of nice sweetness that's not overly sickeningly sweet, and the rum doesn't make a huge dent in this. The rum's not really there much at all, but it lends itself to that sweetness. So it's providing the sugary element without it being your demerara sugar. So it's not really coming through on that, but it's actually quite nice on the tongue. Finish, it's quite short, but it's never going to be that terribly long at that age. On the finish, a little bit of toffee. Again, it sort of carries on with the fruit. Not a huge development on it. All in all, this is reasonable value for money. It's quite good. It offers something a little bit different than other whiskies in and around that market and that price. So, if I were giving it a mark, I'll give this about a 5.5 out of 10. It's not fabulous by any stretch of the imagination, but it's not bad. The problem is it's sitting where there's lots of established competition, and it's a little bit better quality than some of those, but not better than others, and that's where it's going to probably struggle a little bit. But I have high hopes. I've said this before. I have high hopes that someone coming over with totally fresh to the whiskey market with bags of experience. I've said before in the Grainne Ní Mháille reviews, Paul Carus has a PhD. He has rum, champagne, French wine experience. So he's bringing that alcohol academic level, and I do have high hopes for him. I have faith that this will get much better, and hopefully as it gets better, the price doesn't go up too much, and it retains some of the good qualities, the price point, for example, and some of the good qualities, but just takes it a bit further. So, as I say, 5.5 out of 10. It needs a little bit of work. Well, I think it needs a fair amount of work and a little bit more development, and you could end up with something pretty good. But that'll be based on what is available. Now, as I say, follow us on Instagram at Irish Whiskey Review. Tune in every Saturday night where me and my pal Justin do our thing on Facebook Live at 10 PM. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Hit the wee subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything, and you can get notified when and whenever I put up a review. Now please feel free to leave a comment, and thank you very much. Take care. Sláinte.